Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Slow and Steady number 13. Today is the 13th day of this advanced training, and to all the people out there who have withstood this intense training, a warm welcome to you and who are enjoying it. I'm so glad that I get a lot of messages and also comments that I check in the description. When it ends, I'm able to see, and I see that a lot of people are enjoying this. So thank you all. I also want to thank Rohit Atelier, who has sent in a super chat. Rohit, thank you so much. Who says good afternoon, Sagar, Guru Dakshina. When someone sends a super chat, Rohit, thank you so much. Sorry, when someone sends a super chat before the class begins, that is very special because they truly enjoy what is being taught here. So thank you so much. Here's a position on the board till Biswa arrives. White to play. What is the move here? And by the way, guys, today we're going to fine tune our calculations even further and also work a little bit on the openings, because I see that Biswa has certain issues when it comes to opening play. So we're going to discuss all of that. But what's the move here? Yes, Pragyan Mishra. Uh, you are right. Who else? Aditya Lakhe, absolutely correct. Sujal Bagade, fantastic. Keshav Sood, great job. The right move, of course, is a checkmate in one. Rook to e7. Nice. Let's go to the next one. This one, again, try to calculate. This basically are warm-up positions so that you are in the best possible form when the tough ones actually arrive. So white to play. What do you do here? White to move. Not so trivial, huh? Or is it? Guys, it's not mate in one. There's a rook there. You can't checkmate in one move. Mayuk Paul and Shubham Sharma. How can you checkmate with rook b8? Rook takes b8. Siddhi Salunke. If you play rook takes a6, also Trishan Deb, Yashwant Kopal, then what will black do? He's not going to resign, right? He will come king b7. Then what do? You always have to think one move in a little bit more. Akash Deep, you said rook a6, king b7, rook a7. Then what if he takes the knight? You guys cannot just say, okay, this is over. You have to think. Come on. No, he won't go king c8. Srishant, he will take on c6. He will take the knight. So the knight is undefended when you give rook a7 check. Also, guys, in between there could be some short disturbance today as I have to fix some of my internet things in my place. So please bear with that. Rook a6, king b7, and d8, says Nikunj. But Nikunj, just rook takes d8. Okay, I think all of you should think of it this way. Now, let's say I go rook a6. Okay, I take this pawn on a6. He will, of course, play king b7. That's the only move. Then I go rook b6 check. That's what I'm thinking of. Now, if you go king c7, possible. It's also possible. And I don't see anything very clear after king c7. How about first move knight to knight e7, hitting the rook and also the d5 pawn, but then rook d8 to defend this pawn. Oops, sorry. So knight e7, then he goes rook d8. Doesn't look great. Well, in general, taking this pawn seems like a good idea, but also I was thinking if we can start pushing this pawn down the board. Also, this pawn is coming down the board, so it's not so simple. It's not trivial, according to me. I mean, we can take on a6, king b7, rook b6, but then king c7, and look at this, g3, g2, g1. Who's going to stop that pawn? h5, g3, h6, g2, h7, but g1 queen. I think black is okay there. Shrishant, rook b7, idea rook a7, but rook b7 you just lose, yeah, the rook. King takes b7. Okay, let's say Biswa is also here in the room. Let me invite him, but before that, let's finish this off. Not so sure what to do. Take king b7. Did I miss something? I mean, rook b6 looks natural. King c7, knight e7, rook d8. Rook d8. Knight e7, rook d8. What do you do next? Knight d5. Knight e5 looks too passive. Let's invite Biswa and ask him what is his move here. Would be interesting to see. Hello, Biswa.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. I just want to check if there is any audio lag in my.
Not audio lag, but there's some disturbance. Like, ऐसा लग रहा है you are in an aircraft.
ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है? Okay, let me just fix that.
Meanwhile, people will think as to what is the move here.
Check, check, check. Now is it better?
Not really. Same. But okay, it's good only. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like there is this static in the background.
Now?
Now it's less. Now it's gone.
Okay.
But you say something, I think your voice is also low.
Hello, hello, hello. Check,
It's
check,
good.
check.
It's good.
Little bit I'm increasing my volume. Okay, now it should be much better.
Very good. Very good. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Now I'm using Bluetooth headphones, so I'm not sure if there will be lag.
I'm just asking people, is there a lag? If it is there, please let us know. And Biswa, white to move here. We were solving some tactics, just normal ones, easy ones.
Okay. White to move.
I mean, it's already two moves have been completed here. So
Okay. 97.
yeah.
Rook will go to h8, or rook can come to b
No.
b8.
What does 97 attack? It's a double attack.
That is when attacks the. Okay, so rook to e8. Sorry,
D8.
d8.
Yeah, rook D8.
Rook d8. Now feel like take anyway. No, to force this king somewhere and then try to fork it. Also, this doesn't work. Uh, Okay, rook c6 check.
Yeah.
Um, but after rook c6, he can come to d7. He can go to d8. Sorry, c8. He can go to b7 and b8.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a good check. It's too much. Uh,
Yeah, 97 rook d8 something should be there, but although I'm not able to figure out exactly what it is there. Hmm. I was also thinking maybe just rook g6 going behind the pawn, and then we are two pawns up.
rook g6 after 97.
Yeah, 97 rook d8 rook g6, and then everything looks good. Next move I'm playing d3 and trying to, like if you go g3 I have d3.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks like
Yeah,
it. I
maybe.
mean, for me, 97, yeah, that should be like, because we are two pawns up. And the main
Yeah.
thing is that if he keeps the rook on the g file, then d5 is hanging. If he comes here, then rook g6. I think that should be good enough.
Okay.
Okay, Biswa, today we have some very interesting stuff that we are going to do. I also checked
Okay.
a lot of your games from yesterday
Yeah.
and today.
Yeah.
I realized two things. One is your calculation is improving, but in many of the games, when you are piece up or when you are material up, you are not able to finish off well. Or maybe you just lose interest. I don't know what is it. Uh,
No, I'll tell you, those games I was playing after I was very tired. I was playing them, so I was not putting any effort. Uh, so that's why those mistakes happened. It's nothing to do with calculation or anything. I was just too tired, and I was just
yeah, does it
playing
happen to you
obsessively.
that you are piece up or rook up, queen up, and then you feel bored to play?
Yeah, but I lose rarely because of that. I know when I lose because of that, it's mostly because of fatigue. Generally, I'm able to convert it. It's not a big problem, but we can do exercises to make that better also.
My main point is not to do exercise, but it's like the ability to finish off a game is so critical, because if you don't do that, let's imagine you go
Correct.
to a tournament tomorrow. Whenever the opponent starts losing the game, he will give the toughest fight because he has nothing to lose. And so the more games you keep on losing this way, the more you get used to ki theek hai, winning position hai. And then I've seen people all their life cursing their luck कि अरे यार मैं क्या अनलक्की था, पीस अप था और हार गया. So
Got it.
it's never luck. It's always something that's going wrong. As you said, fatigue is for your case. So whenever you're tired, be conscious and try to put in, either stop playing at that point or put in more energy to finish that game and not play again.
Got it.
But
So if, okay, sometimes when I'm not tired also, what happens is uh, after I'm piece up or I'm two pawns up or something like that, the problem is once the position becomes chaotic, I lose control over the position basically. After some point, I lose control.
you are
So
actually, when you are equal material, when you lose control, you are okay. But when you are a piece up or material up, you don't like to lose control. You like
yes,
everything to be perfect. So that point
yes,
also, it's okay to, you don't have to go into the end game. Game can get over very quickly also. So the
okay,
ability to calculate should not end when you are piece up. Because you stop calculating, you are like abhi end game jana hai, extra piece I will convert. But even with
got
an
it.
extra piece, you can finish off the game in the middle game. The other problem which I noticed is that in many games, openings may you are getting bad positions. So we are going to check
D4,
almost,
D4
but
opening.
in many, like it's like many of them you are not able to get a position. Yeah, d4 is main, but also when you're playing with white, sometimes with e4 e5 that you face maximum, you are not playing the best possible moves. So we'll look at some opening ideas
Great,
also. Just very
great, great.
quickly, I have some around 15 games, 15 ideas, so you know them. Like, now to d5 you have to play in that. If he goes in d4 opening knight c3, and you already felt you played it twice, I saw. But then what more next? So we will check that.
Okay,
So but before that, Of course, I'm going to make you grind today.
Yes.
I'm going to make your life difficult with these positions. So let's start with one book, one position, three positions I have today from my favorite book, which actually changed my perception of calculation. It's known as Practical Chess Defense by Jacob Agard, and you know Agard has come on our show Grandmaster Chess. So he has written that book, and what I've realized is when you think of defense well correctly, your calculation improves much better than attack. Because defense, it's like if you don't find the right defense, you lose the game. So here's the first one for you, and you have to look at opponent's resources always. White to play in this position, sorry, black to play, I'll flip it. This one is black to play, and you have to first under how quickly can you immerse yourself in the position. That is the thing, what's going on. Look, black has an outside passer, white is a piece up, all of that. Quickly just gobble it in, and then try to think what is the best move for black, what are white's threats. And also in the chat, guys, come on, try to think. These are certain positions which are may not be easy but will help you to think better.
Okay. Is it white to move, black to move?
Black to play.
Black to play. Okay. Um, White's threat is if the rook moves away, then he'll take f7. But the bigger threat is somehow here. He mate us? He can't mate us right now. Once he does f7, then knight can come to g6 and rook h8 will be mate. So this f7 pawn is his big problem. Anyways, if we so now why can't we just go b2, b1 and promote? So if we go b2, he will play rook b8, and then we do. Is there any other defense to b2? Is there any attacking move we can play? There is one check, rook h8, doesn't make any sense. We just take it. Okay, so b2, he will play rook b8. Now, what is the best way to promote? Should just promote and take his rook. If we promote, then he will do something.
Biswa,
Can't
be
be that
alert.
simple.
Be alert, or what is happening. You are going on the right track, but you know, as I said, you are like a soldier in enemy territory. You cannot just be going straight, straight, straight. You have to look right, left. A bullet can come from anywhere. So you have to be alert. If b2, what all can happen, where is it going on. So try to be quick with your mind, with your calculation.
Okay, if b2 and it chooses to ignore and mate us somehow, because if he wants to stop the pawn, then rook b8. What else is there? Okay, knight d5. Then once you promote, no, knight can't stop it. Here, okay, let's just rule out what can't move. Two of his pawns can't move. His king can't move. I mean, can move, but to pointless h4, f4 squares. Only to h4 or h3 it can move. So chuck that. This b2. He plays.
Manasvi Mishra says, learning a lot about slow and steady approach to life and all other goals, even outside chess from these streams. Love from Boston. Thank you so much, Manasvi. Yeah, it's very important that you, if you want to get good at something, that you're consistent. It's an amazing thing about Biswa right now.
Okay. So he can just go to knight g6. That's the idea. So if you do b2, knight g6, you promote and rook h8 is mate. So b2, knight g6, and if you take, then he takes our rook and he stops promotion. Oh, amazing. Uh, and then later, later ka point in he's completely winning after that. So this knight g6 is the main problem. I think after b2 we are lost actually. There is no way to stop.
But if you take the knight,
If you take the knight, he takes our rook,
yep. Maybe first he
and
takes the pawn, gives a check, and then takes the rook. Yeah, both are lost.
yeah, game over after that.
Correct. Very good. So you found the defense.
So
Now what will you play with black?
how to stop this idea? Uh,
So this is the critical part. Sometimes you see the threat, but to find the defense is very difficult.
rook f6 is an idea. Rook f6. Now, if knight g6, then rook takes. No, 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 no. Lost. Then pawn takes check, king takes, rook takes, pawn takes, and then a pawn will promote. So, what is the defense to rook f6? Rook f6, rook b8, pawn will be gone. Okay, pawn will go, but do you get anything in return?
Guys, remember that white wants to just play rook b8 if you don't do anything and gobble up your b3 pawn. This clarity should be there in your head. Ki if you don't do anything and he can win your b3 pawn just like that, or stop it even from becoming a queen, he's winning. He's a full piece up. It's not a small thing being a complete piece up.
Okay.
So all those who are
What?
saying g6 or something, it just doesn't make sense. First of all, h takes g6 is just very powerful.
f5, and now if knight takes, then b2, rook b8 promotes. If pawn takes, then b2. One second, sorry.
Very interesting. I think in the chat, some of the people are finding it. It's actually, yes, there are a few options. It's not so trivial.
If f4, rook takes f4,
F5. F5, you said?
sorry, f5, f5, rook takes f5. Yeah, why not? Because then whatever it does, pawn promotion can't be stopped. I think f5 is the idea. I strongly feel. f5, if rook takes, obviously pawn, then knight g6 doesn't work. Uh, because after knight g6, um, how to stop it, how to stop it, how to stop it.
Guys, all those
f5,
who have found the first move, I see a lot of people try to think if white can then get back at you. The first move that you have found. Always don't give up. Look at the possibilities.
So f5, pawn takes, rook takes pawn.
Hmm? Rook takes pawn.
Yeah,
I see. Acha, you want to try for some stalemate?
no,
I'll take your rook, no?
b2. Rook, f5, pawn takes. Right now, something needs to happen. b2, knight g6, and we can't take that knight. Now, if pawn takes is the problem.
Pawn takes if b2.
Knight g6.
Yes, you saw that there is no way to stop the mate then. Correct. Come on, Biswa, think. It's not, it's, you should be fluid. Your mind should be like, अच्छा ये नहीं चल रहा है, दूसरा, दूसरा, दूसरा. You should look at more options.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is not working. Then how to stop this knight g6? F3, f6 is an idea. If f6, then knight g6 can't stop it. If sorry, rook f4, then pawn takes, knight g6 can't be stopped. F rook f6, क्या problem है? Rook f6, rook b8, rook e6, rook takes b8, then rook takes e7. So he can't do that. Yeah, rook f6 is nice. Rook f6, rook b8.
Abhishek Deshpande says, Hi Sagar and Biswa, another good learning series. Thanks for coming up with this. Thank you, Abhishek, for following this. I'm sure you are also calculating along with your wife, and yeah, this is going to be not easy. This entire series, the idea is to fine tune your skills at chess.
Rook f6, rook b8, rook e6 is a good move. Now he will still try or what? He can't mate us now. But he has to save his knight, I am guessing.
How will he save it?
He has to move the knight or rook b7. If rook b7, then rook e4 check. King goes to s3. Then
Why
or
H?
don't.
Why h3? Why do you want to put the king there? Endgame में king is better in the center.
Yeah, so f5, king f5.
F5 or F3, both are much better than putting the king on H3.
Okay.
But why rook B7? Like, you want to take the pawn with your rook. If you tie down your rook to your knight, you can never play rook takes B3. So logically, the move which is much more like what should you play, which can help you to win that pawn?
Knight c6.
There's a rook on E6.
So knight d5 or knight f5.
Which one you think is more logical, knight D5 or knight F5?
Knight f5 actually.
Why?
Because it's still in the middle of the action.
Yeah, also, I mean, knight d5 is more in the middle of the action, but knight f5 is more compact and there are specific lines to back it up. So calculate knight f5, go on.
Knight f5. Now rook takes on e4.
Yeah, go on, go on.
King h3 only move,
Why
or
h3
king
only move?
king f3, king f3, king f3,
Which is better according to your
king
intuition?
f3, king f3 is better.
Being in the
King f3.
now what will he do? His b3 pawn is hanging. If he loses just b3 like that, he'll be lost.
Sorry. King f3. Then rook is on e4. King is on f3. Knight on f5. Rook e5. Knight
Rook e5. Come on, think. What would you play? What is hanging? The
knight
knight.
is hanging.
And if the knight
Yeah,
moves, what will hang?
the h5 pawn.
So what should you play?
Ideally knight g3, but there's a pawn there, so can't play. King to g4.
G4 or why G4?
Because it protects both knight and
But what is
pawn.
better? Where you can protect knight, attack the rook,
f4, king f3.
king f4. He has to
Yeah.
move the rook, and then what will, let's say, where will he go with his rook? Any tricks that are left for him? Otherwise, what is your next move as white? To take the pawn on b3. Once the pawn on b3 is lost, and you have two pawns and a knight against three pawns, that should be winning. So
Yes.
this is very difficult calculation because it involves very subtle moves, and I'm very happy that you actually calculated these little things. So you went rook f6, you played rook b8, rook e6, knight f5, rook e4, king f3, rook e5, king f4. And in the end, what happened is that the rook will have to go somewhere. Now there are no more tricks, and I'll win this pawn. And once that is two pawns and a knight versus three pawns, it will end
Yeah.
in a win for white. So therefore,
Yeah.
rook f6, although a good move, does not work. So what will you play here as black? Come on, Biswa.
That's g6. What about g6? Uh, I mean, that's the only move left. I guess there is nothing else. f6 doesn't work, f5 doesn't work, rook f6 doesn't work. So g6.
Why are you so fixated with the idea of moving the rook on the f file only?
If I move it elsewhere, how to stop knight g6? If I can't stop knight g6, okay,
How to stop? The knight g6 move is working because the rook is on the f file.
got. So if a rook c1, let's say, why rook c1? It has no purpose for me. Okay, let's say rook c1. What does he play? Rook b8. Rook c7. Knight d5, I guess, in this case, because it gains a tempo on the rook. Rook c5 goes nowhere. Uh, I don't like it. Okay, what about just rook e1 actually attacks something? Rook e1, king. No, rook b8 is better for him. Rook b1, rook b8,
Rook e1, rook b8, yeah.
rook e1, rook b8, rook e3,
e3.
knight, yeah,
रुक e1 पे
knight,
गए क्यों?
pawn लेने के लिए.
रुक e3 क्यों खेल रहे हो?
Ah, okay, okay, rook e4, king has to go somewhere, so he won't obviously play rook b8. He would play after rook e1. He would play king f4. Don't like this also, but okay. King f4. Then what do you do? B2, rook b8. No, 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 no. This can't happen. He will have to give up this pawn. Rook e1, rook b8. He gives up this pawn. Otherwise, he loses. Um, rook e4. King goes to f5. Actually, king goes to f3. King goes to f3. Then rook will take knight. Rook takes knight. Rook takes b3, and we win.
Who wins?
Who win? We win.
Who? Who is we? I don't understand. White or black?
Black, black.
Black wins? Why
Yeah.
does black
So
win?
basically, rook versus 3 versus rook versus 2
Is
pawns.
that a win or a draw?
It's a win if you know how to play.
It's a draw if you know how to play. If you don't know,
Okay.
then maybe anything can happen. But 3 versus 2 is a theoretical draw.
Okay. 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 Draw is good for us because
Yes,
we are so down
basically
and whatever.
black is in big trouble here. If you think in most
Yeah.
of the lines that you are calculating, black is losing. So a draw would be a very good result.
So he has to find a defense to rook e1 basically. I think after rook e1, if he does not play rook b8, he's lost actually. So it's forced. I can't think of any other move. So rook e1, rook b8 is forced. Otherwise, you just do b2 promote and he can't do anything. So rook b8 is forced. Now rook takes on e4. There, can he do some technique? No. Either king has to go somewhere because nothing can come in between.
So now, Biswa, you have found the first move, which is working for black, correct? Rook e1.
Yeah.
Now you have to find something that puts a lot of resistance from white side to win. You know, if white wants to draw, he can always make a draw. He can always draw the game.
Rook e1.
It's very complicated, guys. But it's because the problem is every time I give you a puzzle, it's like, you know, prevent mate, win material, win a piece. Now this one is where you have little moves. It's to stop the pawn from queening.
Rook b8 is forced. I don't know if there is any other move here. Okay, let's say after rook e1 he goes uh, king f3. I don't know why he'll go there, but okay, king f3. Then We do b2, does not work. He has to come to b8. Yeah, so after rook e1, rook b8 is forced. That's what I think. Because the knight cannot reach, and once it's on b2, it's over. Okay, so how will he resist after rook b8? After rook b8, rook takes e4.
So rook e4, king whatever moves, rook e7. Black has no chance of losing. So rook b8 is least of your concern with white. If you are black, then rook e1, rook b8 is not at all a concern because rook e4 you are winning the knight.
Correct.
So that variation you can just remove. That okay, that you are with black you are fine. You need to
Huh.
find a variation where white can put pressure on you.
Okay, rook e1. Now, rook takes on f7. b2. Rook f8. b1 queen and इतने इतने कम में मेट होते उधर हो गया. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I think I get it now. Rook e1, knight g6. Threatening mate. F takes on g6. Um, E takes on g6. Sorry, H takes on g6. King takes on g6. Rook b8. Rook takes on e4. King f3. Rook d3. Rook b6 check. King goes to
Sorry, what is your calculation, Biswa?
knight g6 only. I'm trying to calculate.
After rook e1.
Yeah,
But if I
it
take,
doesn't work. Doesn't work.
yeah. Okay, let's look at this. This is slightly complicated. You tried your best. But let's look at rook e1. Very good move. Only move. All the people in the chat who are saying g6 here, guys, g6 does not work on account of many moves, but the simplest would be to just take the pawn. And then eventually if he takes, like if he takes fg6, then this is hanging. If king g7, then I can just go rook b8 and pick up this pawn. It's not even a there's nothing here, correct?
Yeah.
So therefore instead of g6 he plays the move rook e1, okay, to take this pawn. Now as you saw, rook b8 doesn't make sense because after check, at the very least you will reach this 3 versus 2 in which it's a theoretical draw but only black can try. So therefore the right move here after rook e1 in this position is a very very critical move, which is king f5.
What does this do?
You tell me. If I push, how do you know what does it do? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. If I close my eyes, I calculate better.
Ah, that is. Now what is the threat for white? If suppose, how do you know how to calculate what is white's threat?
He's threatening some kind of mate
No, but how
somewhere.
do you calculate? See, you need,
If we skip our move, what is he going to play?
if you can give move to the white, or you can make an obvious move for black. What is the obvious move here that you would love to play?
B2, B2,
Yes.
B2.
So make b2 in your head and try to figure out, is there any threat? You can either give him the move also, but here, because you have a very obvious move for yourself,
Yeah,
b2.
okay. B2. Rukechit. No, Rukechit is stupid move. Knight G6. No, Knight G6 is also bad. No, Knight G6. Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, hey. Knight G6 takes, pawn takes, and what? It's mate.
The new pattern you saw today. So
So now G6 has to be played, I guess, but it's very tough now. So, friends, G6, H takes on G6, F takes on G6, King. Where does the king go? Ding, 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 ding. कहीं भी जाएगा किंग हम प्रमोट तो कर ही लेंगे भाई इसलिए आई थिंक आफ्टर we are okay after G6.
g6, you are okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to think, after g6, opponent is not your friend. Okay. So he will play king e5.
अरे यार अब पर अपना B2 पे है पॉन.
So now let's think. Basically, if here I was thinking king e5, or maybe there's some other move also, but king e5, let's say, if you play b2, what will happen is he'll play take.
1 second. Sorry. Today is Monday, so I'm getting a lot of pending inquiries. So sorry.
Do you want to like answer all of them, and then yeah, आते ही रहेगा, मतलब it will keep coming.
ये आते रहे ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर सकते सब लोग ऑफिस पहुंचे अभी and need to answer right now only. The problem is that big paragraphs.
उनको पूछो ना ये स्ट्रीम देख के कैसा, कौन सा डिफेंस. What is the defense for white?
Yeah. Also, I got new ear cushions for my headphones.
Oh.
They're black earlier. I have the similar model to
ईयर
yours.
कुशंस आते हैं क्या? I was thinking that ये मेरा गया अभी कुशन, तो I have to find a new one.
Yeah, you can order online. 1500 में आ जाएगा.
Okay.
Very nice.
Cool.
Sorry. क्या कर रहे हैं हम?
So what we were looking at here is you are going g6, trying to defend here, because you saw that b2 is getting lost to knight g6. If you take is a checkmate. So knight g6, and if you give a check, I go back here, and now once again you cannot take because this is hanging, otherwise it's a checkmate.
Yes.
So therefore we come to the conclusion that b2 does not work. So you have to
Yeah, so
find a
G6.
defense, and you have come to the move G6. Although I don't believe that's the only move. Again, candidate moves could help here. What are the other moves?
Rook F1 is there. Rook
Because
F1 is
if
there.
you remember, Rook F1, King G4, what will you play? Within 5 seconds.
Hey, we are back to our original position,
Correct. So what will you
but
play?
with something.
With no change. You played Rook E1, he went King F5, you gave Rook F1, he went King G4.
Okay, so Rook E1
Correct.
only.
So he has to come here, you give a check. If he wants to win, what does he have to play?
Rook B8.
अरे
But
check.
he's on the check में भाई. King E5.
King to E5. Very good. And now what is the threat for white? If white was to move, what would he play?
Knight G6.
So what would you... Now G6 is a huge threat. So what should black do now?
Rook F6.
Very good. Rook F6. Fantastic. Because otherwise white would have gone Rook B8 and takes. So Rook F6, the threat is... What is your threat with Rook F6?
Um, Rook E6 and
Yes.
takes
So
knight.
Rook E6 is a big threat. So what will white do?
Resign. White will do Rook E8.
This thing I want you to change. You आपका कैसा है? You want one piece to defend the other piece and वो सब अटक जाता है. Like if you play rook e8, rook e6 check, king moves, then
Yeah.
b2, and then suddenly everything is tied down. So you don't
Uh,
play rook b8, rook e8. What do? You move your knight away somewhere, which is a good square.
Knight D5.
Because knight d5
Knight,
controls a very important square.
F6 also it controls, and C3 also it controls.
And also b6, so that the rook cannot get behind the pawn. Rook b6 आ रहा है ना, तो knight d5 is a good move. Then
Oh wow, 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 wow. Knight B5 के बाद हम क्या करेंगे? We will give the check anyway. Rook E6. Knight can't come in between, so king goes to F4, or king can actually go to D4. That is better. If king goes to D4, सब पकाओ पोजीशन है ना ये.
ऐसा पोजीशन सॉल्व किया ना, तो देन वो सब इजी, बाकी सब इजी लगेगा.
ओ भाई साहब, कुछ हो ही नहीं
You
रहा,
have to
खाली
solve
घूम
two
रहा है
more.
इधर.
This is one. ऐसा और दो है आज.
मेरा इंटरनेट अटक.
ये वही है, स्कूल में वो बच्चा, he is finding it difficult, so
ओके
online.
होल्ड ऑन. क्या कर रहा है भाई? नाइट किंग चला गया D4 में, अभी रुक चला गया B8 में. हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. आई थिंक पोजीशन इज लॉस्ट. F6, knight D5, E6, king D4. अभी क्या करेंगे? कुछ तो बचा नहीं करने के लिए. हाँ ठीक है, अपने को खेलना है B2. सो rook F3. I don't know what is happening.
If you play rook f3, what is he going to do? If you do here rook f3,
Yeah, just knight knight C3 को बिठा देगा.
first of all he can always go rook b8, stop your pawn. ठीक है. Once the pawn is stopped, that is one thing. The other thing is he can still go knight g6. You have no, your rook is still undefended. So you will lose.
No, knight g6 can't go. Knight is on d5.
Acha, you played rook f6, knight d5, rook f3. Okay, sorry. I thought in this
No, rook
position.
f6, knight d5, rook e6, king d4, knight f3. But then now he can just do knight
But then
c3.
how can you go here?
और pawn खा जाएगा bro.
नहीं इधर है ना rook e6 पे. You give a check, no?
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
Okay, so rook f6. Biswa, I'm going to help you a bit. Knight d5 because this is a little bit tough. And now think of it this way that if you don't do anything, he's just going to come to b8 and stop the pawn.
yeah.
So can you do some kind of a thing which throws a spanner in his works? You know, like rook b8 पे आ रहा है. We need to interfere.
My God. My God.
Yeah,
Rook b6.
exactly. Rook b6. And now you cannot stop this. Basically, you can go knight c3, but beat like. Can you go knight c3? b2, knight b1. This should win for white. Or not. I'm not sure. Because there is a check.
Enjoy, Sagar bhai. Enjoy.
No, because if you take here, then b2 is just winning. I mean, it's just at least a draw like for black. Because you can't stop the pawn now. So the question is what happens to knight c3? b2, knight b1.
Now,
c8,
f6 check.
rook b5, rook h5.
One second. What about just rook c6?
Yeah, rook c6, knight a4.
Rook c4.
Knight b2. Or
Rook,
rook a8. Just. I mean, it's not so easy to make progress there. So here, king f5, king e5, rook f6. Okay. Knight d5. This is all forced. Rook b6. That's it.
क्या चल रहा है चैट?
बिस्वा को क्यों ऐसा फीलिंग आ रहा है कि उसको सोचने का जरूरत नहीं है ये पोजीशन में? यू कैन ऑल्सो थिंक बिस्वा. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं सोच रहा है.
Okay, so rook b6 seems like the best move.
अरे बट नाइट c3. Actually, here rook b6, knight c3, b2, knight b1, and now rook b5 check, and you can pick up this pawn. Let's say if he goes king f4, or even if not, you take this pawn, you play rook b7. This seems like a draw, but it's very difficult to understand. The point is that the knight cannot move. I'll make a queen, and meanwhile you can't do much with your rook also. It's not so simple. Next move, I mean, it's difficult to understand. I agree. So this is a draw. But a more important line is, of course, not more important, but if you take here, then b2 is a draw. I was just wondering if here, Biswa, instead of this, you were there was one variation which you were looking at g6, king e5, b2. Remember this variation? Take king h8, and here here we stopped, but hg6 with the idea of this. what was a problem for me here, like when I looked at it, was that black had a defense. There is a mate on h7. Can you find a defense for black?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Rook takes on e4, king takes on e4, b1 queen,
Yeah.
and then
There would be a
that.
perpetual then after that.
Yeah.
So take, what do you do? It's a very important moment. Actually, I thought you have to take here, but in fact, you can do something else.
King f6.
Beautiful. And if he takes here,
G7.
g7, maybe, but he made a one movement.
Oh, okay, okay.
G7, maybe king h7 के बाद I don't see a win.
Promote queen.
But king takes.
अरे यार, मूर्ख हूं मैं, मूर्ख हूं मैं.
So just look at this position, Biswa, and try to understand. Check here, and if you can understand why this is a draw, like check, king f4, and rook b7. There was the Anand Joshi in the chat who said this seems like can win with here. Let's say I play g6, you take, I take,
एक बार विदित को बुलाते हैं.
and here.
विदित को लेके आता, उसका दिमाग खराब करूंगा मैं आज.
ये पोजीशन के लिए.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, for example, if I still keep waiting and you go here, then I have this move which kind of pins you here, and I'm going to take and queen. So this doesn't work. So you have to, let's say, wait. I also wait. You wait. The main thing is I cutting off the king like this is helpful this way. So I can still, like, just wait like this. What happened?
No, I called Vidit. I think he's doing something important. He didn't pick up.
Yeah, he must be working on something.
Yeah.
So this one, Biswa, the right idea here anyway, and very good calculation was rook e1. Anyway, in this position you would otherwise lose. If you in your fun, if you play this, then after knight g6 it's already over. So the very fact that from such a bad position you can reach here, in itself shows that you are like, you can give a check and then do this, shows that you have great chances to hold.
Can we check the computer analysis for this?
Yes, I checked it. It's showing draw. It's showing slightly better for white, but it's not showing how to win. +1 it shows. +1 matlab ek pawn up, but if you look at it carefully, you are a piece up, but it's showing only a pawn up kind of a thing here. So in effect, it's within the drawing range. So what I'm trying to say is, you have an option between totally losing and reaching this position, which means clearly you have to reach here.
Got it.
Okay,
Got
let's go to the next one. Are you ready?
Just one thing. Was that from a real game?
Yes.
That's why it's so messy.
Yes, it was from a real game.
Yeah.
This one is much simpler.
Sorry, what happened in that game? Did black lose or
Good
draw?
question, actually. I'll tell you. In that game, so while I check what happened in that game, this is the next position on your board.
अरे पोजीशन तो आते रहेंगे. हुआ क्या उधर?
Let me see.
इतना इन्वेस्ट करने के बाद रिजल्ट तो पता चलना चाहिए ना.
हाँ, it was between Miles and Schneider.
तो इसमें क्या है भाई? व्हाइट टू मूव, ब्लैक टू मूव.
ये है, आप ही बोलो.
White to move. Can't be black to move.
Black to move, king rook takes f2.
What's the problemo if king takes on e2? Then कुछ तो plan रहेगा
So
भाई.
in the game, Biswa, what happened was he played b2 and knight g6 से वो हार गया वो last वाले position. So right move here they have given king same variation which we saw everything.
It's very difficult variation to see, I guess.
I know, but this is
Like in a real game.
this is it's only training that can help, and the reason why it was not so difficult is because other move loses just outright.
Got
So
it, got it, got
people
it.
who are strong can find it. It's only a matter because if there are many lines which lead to unclear position, then it was slightly tough. But of course, I
Got it,
don't
got it.
disagree. It was tough. I don't disagree. So here, Biswa, this is more concrete, and you will look at it. You will see. Just immerse yourself. The queen is hanging. His queen is hanging. Rook is hanging. Mate is happening.
No, no, this is a nice one. I
बिस्वा
like
इज
it.
लाइक थोड़ा डीप ब्रेथ ले लेता हूँ क्योंकि टफ कैलकुलेशन शुरू हो रहा है.
Yeah. Okay. So obvious move is king takes rook. Now what happens if king takes rook? Then does he continue with checks or he has some other idea in his mind? I think क्या हो गया भाई? सबको आज ही बात करना है क्या?
और आज ही आई हैव फाउंड द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट पोजीशंस फॉर बिस्वा एंड ही इज लाइक दिस इज इम्पॉसिबल टू सॉल्व इवन फॉर मी इफ आई गेट कॉल्स. तो आपके लिए तो इट इज इम्पॉसिबल.
Okay.
But you can talk,
King.
Biswa. It's important you please take the call because
Yeah,
otherwise you
yeah,
can't
I'll
think.
take. Yeah, I'll take. I'll take. If something important comes. Okay, so king takes on e2, rook e7 check. King goes back to f2, then another rook he'll sacrifice. No, he won't sacrifice. Why would he sacrifice? And then he doesn't have a check, so that's not the move. So let's discard that. So king takes on e2, rook. Okay. Oh man, he'll get mated if he takes queen takes on a3 with some idea. Okay, so if it does not give us a check, then what happens? Then what happens is rook b8, queen takes, only move. Rook b8, king takes, queen takes on d7, and it's winning for us. And because we are a rook up. So he has to keep giving the check. I don't know why he's sacrificing his rook. If king takes e2 now, his only move is rook e7.
सोचो सोचो,
Okay,
don't stop your thought.
he can do queen a3. Then no, he can't because then rook b8 is
Yes,
mate.
these all little
He
things. See,
can't.
Biswa, have you understood the importance of those? How do you say those lines where you know how to win? Like last time, b2 b1 was there. Here, rook b8 check is there. So you know all these things should be there so that you don't go into unnecessary variations.
Yeah. I just want to understand why he's sacrificing. What is his idea? I'm not able to find his idea. So after
Who?
King
Who? What you are not able to understand?
Black is sacrificing a rook.
Hmm. If you take what is black's defense?
Defense. He's on offense.
No,
He's offending me.
who is offense? On black is offending you because king e2. You said that rook. Basically, you are getting checkmated. No, queen takes queen, rook b8 check. So you have to find a defense for black.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? Isn't it white to move?
No, it's white to move. But after I take king takes rook, you will have to find a defense for black. No,
Why are you defending? Why, I mean, why is Black sacrificing a rook? I don't understand.
because he
Okay,
wants to
fine.
save the game. He's getting checkmated there. His game उधर उसका खत्म हो रहा
Ah,
है. क्या?
got it. So he basically wants to do rook e7 check, and after rook e7 check, after the king moves, he will move his king to no, not his king to anywhere, but he will bring queen. फिर से है e7 के बाद king e7 के बाद he will do something. He will take yeah, of course, he'll take our queen.
Hmm. Because why? Now rook b8 check. What is the issue?
अपना टाइम ही नहीं ना रुक बीट चेक देने के लिए.
नहीं, we are taking the queen, na?
Oh, rook b8, no problem. Now so he can escape from d7.
Correct. That's why he wants your king to come on the e file so that he can move his rook from d7 with a check.
Hmm. Yeah, correct. Crazy, crazy idea. I like this guy, man. I like this guy. हम लेंगे ही नहीं इसका रुक. हम बस बट अभी अगर अभी किंग f1 पे जाएंगे तो he'll again come. He'll say give take my rook.
How?
e1 he'll come. Now if I take then again मेरा क्वीन मर जाएगा. एक सेकेंड. किंग f1 रुक e1 बट क्यों वो नाइट से भी चेक दे सकता है. एक सेकेंड. somebody important thing.
Guys, think this is actually very tough. Oh, Mayur, you scored 50% in corporate chess. That's very cool. Very cool. Congrats. I hope you played good games. Guys, the question is it's very difficult to understand who is winning or who is not here. That is also a tough thing. And secondly, who is giving a check, where to move the king. Biswa, did some strong player call you and give you the answer?
No, a strong player called me and said नासिक में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है. But he's trying to join. I
Oh,
don't know if
Biswa,
he'll be able to join.
Vidit called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very strong player.
Nasik में electricity नहीं.
Yeah. Rook, see, king e1 is the only move, or king g1. Well, king g1 is. Hey, hello, king g1. How are you? If king, I like king g1, man. If king, because the problem king f1 is that knight can give a check and then pick up our rook, and then we lose.
Pick up our rook क्या उधर उसका queen मर रहा है 8 पे.
कोइन में उठा लेगा.
So you have to be very careful. You have to calculate. कुछ हवे में नहीं होगा. You have to be very precise.
अरे बट क्वीन उठा लेगा तो ही इज गेटिंग मेटेड ना.
Hmm?
If I go king f1, knight f1,
King f1, knight.
knight d2,
हाँ
king g1.
हाँ.
Now if it takes my knight, then
Now if he takes
uh,
what?
if he takes my queen, then he gets mated.
हाँ
So he has to take knight takes on b1,
हाँ
and now I take his queen,
हाँ.
and it's a mate.
It's a mate, unfortunately.
Yeah, so he can't take my rook. He if he takes my queen, it's a mate. So he has to.
You see, guys, defense requires a lot of calculation because here Biswa has an option to take the rook on e2, which he has already found that after rook e7, queen c6, he is losing. Correct, Biswa?
Yes,
So therefore, you are now considering king f1 or king g1.
yeah, both. So king f1, I think king f1. If I play king f1, he takes my queen. मान लो तो mate हो जाएगा. The moment he takes my queen, he gets mated. So he can't take my queen. Uh, Knight check is a nice idea, but what about actually the better move? The better move. उसमें हार ही जाएगा किंग एफ1 के बाद. आई डोंट थिंक ही हैज एनीथिंग.
हार ही जाएगा मतलब?
देयर इज ही हैज नथिंग ब्रदर.
Who?
सी आई ब्लैक.
Hmm.
बिकॉज आई टेल यू
Hmm.
किंग एफ1 के बाद देख लो.
Hmm.
मान लो वो कुछ नहीं करता है,
Hmm.
देन तो क्वीन टेक्स क्वीन चेक
Hmm.
मेट.
Hmm.
ओके, नाउ he has a couple of options, so he has to give me a check, otherwise he's getting mated.
Hmm.
uh, if he right now plays rook d to e7,
Hmm. विश्वा माइंड
then
में ये
also
रखो
then
कि
also he's
क्वीन
mated.
क्वीन हैंगिंग है ए8 पे.
Yeah, so
Can't do.
queen takes rook d7.
King d. What I say?
King d7.
But once you lose a
uh,
queen, you don't need to calculate that because what is the need? You mean to say उधर अपने पे भी मेटिंग अटैक आ सकता है क्या?
yeah, just check if Vidit has come.
तो लगा आज का क्लास बहुत टफ है. somehow विदिन जल्दी आ जाए. I can relax
uh,
then. वो है
रुको
तेरा
रुको,
मंडे मॉर्निंग ब्लूज.
मेरे को उसको इसका पिछला वाला पोजीशन मेरे को विदित को दिखाना है जो प्रीवियस वन.
You will find it within 1 minute.
पक्का.
पक्का.
ओके, विल सी.
I mean there is no doubt. उधर
उसका
ऑप्शन
मूड
थी.
उसका मूड खराब होगा लेकिन. बट आफ्टर क्वीन टेक्स योर, इफ can he mate? He can't mate because rook e1 check doesn't work. Then we take. So after king f1 he has to give a check. So after king f1, if he does rook e1 check, then oh my god. rook e1 का
Everyone is
fit.
confused. What is the answer? You see, it's very. एक तो बिस्वा के माइंड में ये क्लियर नहीं है. क्वीन मर रहा है. You first clarify that if you waste time as black, queen takes a8 is mate. If you take queen takes c6, rook b8 is mate. So that
Correct.
is fully sorted and keep on the side. Now it means that white only has to get rid of checks or black has to force white's king in a way where the rook on d7 can move. So it's a very nice interesting so now rook, if you realize king takes e2 is a lost position because of rook e7 and queen c6, Then you have to decide between king f1 here and king g1.
Yeah, I'm deciding. Hold on. If king f1, then rook e1. It's a dangerous draw हो जाएगा भाई. King f2 is the only move because if rook takes, then queen takes. बच जाएगा वो. So the rook can't take on e1. King goes to f2. If king takes on e1, then same idea. Rook e7 and yeah, बच जाएगा भाई. So king g1, rook e1. साला घुस रहा है फिर से. King f2. This is a draw.
So why not king f1 and draw? Like king f1, rook e1, king f2, and why king g1 you are going and drawing?
Not going and drawing, just was checking if g1 works. It's a draw.
G1. So basically, you G1, F1 both draw or only G1 draws?
Both f1, g1, both draw.
Sure.
Let me check. If king g1, then rook e1 check. Rook takes. Oh, king g1 loses.
2.
Rook e1.
Then
Then rook takes on e1. Queen takes queen. And we lose. So rook king f1 only move. King f1, f2, f1, f2, f1, f2, f1, f2. Draw.
okay, very nice. You think you are right?
100%.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, king e2 does not work because of rook e7 check. This is the basic idea of this puzzle, that after he moves, you take the queen, and even if he gives a check, you come out and there is no way to mate this king, and black is up queen for a rook. Agreed, Biswa?
Yes.
So therefore you can't take the rook. So you have king g1 as an option or king f1. Now king f1, you see this very sly check on rook e1. The point is that if he takes with the rook, there is no longer this battery with the rooks. So now you can take the queen. There is no longer a mate happening here. So therefore he goes check, rook d8, and once again there is no way to checkmate him. In fact, black wins. However, after rook e1, if you play king e1, then rook e7 check and black wins the game. Again, same concept. So therefore, Biswa says he will go up, check, come down, check. And a draw will happen with threefold repetition. However, Biswa, after this, there is knight d2 check, which you had thought of, but somehow I don't know why you did not think again. Because now if king takes e2, I have rook e7 check, king d2, queen c6. This is still winning for black. Because you won, I agree you won a rook and a knight, but still with this king so exposed, you are going to lose. And black king will be safe. But the question is, what happens after king f1, knight d2, king g1? Isn't my king safe?
But why are you considering these lines for black, which are bad for black?
It's good for black, no? Knight d2 check. You didn't even consider knight d2.
I did.
Knight d2, and then what did you consider then?
King g1.
Yeah, so that's what I was asking now.
No.
So now you give a check. Okay, if rook
Okay.
takes, then you take the queen.
Yeah.
So only move is king f2. Now what is the problem? Black to play. What is the move that wins for black?
Queen takes queen.
No, but rook b8 is a mate.
Oh, sorry. So, knight, uh, just king, just rook e1, rook e2 is fine.
No, but now rook e2, king g1. I'm anyway making a draw here. So here the right move is rook f1. Beautiful move for black.
Wow.
Because if rook takes rook, queen takes queen, there is no mate on b8. And if king e2 here, you see the king has come out. And now what is the winning move?
Rook e7.
Yes, rook e7, king d2, queen c6, and you win. So you realize that actually in this position, after king g1, king f1, knight d2 is winning for black. So the right answer is king g1, rook e1, king f2, king g1, and a draw. This is the right way to draw the game.
Got it.
थोड़ा टफ था ना, टफ था to understand what was happening.
Yeah, it's very
Calculation was
like,
okay, it was not very
yeah,
tough, but who's
yeah,
winning, who's losing, what's the draw. But did you
yeah,
understand it well, Biswa, or are there any
yeah, yeah, yeah.
doubts?
No, no, I understood.
Okay, I'm not going to give you the third position today. I'm just going to
Okay.
put it up and I'm going to ask this as a homework, which I know you will not do, and eventually we will see it in class. But still, in case you do it, or for the chat, guys, please try to solve this. It's black to play here. Black to play. White pawn is about to queen.
Wow.
White pawn is about to queen. So Biswa, if you want to take a picture or something to remind you, maybe if you have some time, then you can try this out. And also in the chat, guys, please try to solve it. I think it will
Taking
be
a
very
screenshot.
useful for you. Okay. So before we end today, Biswa, I want to tell you a few opening tips from your games.
Okay.
I'll just
Okay.
take a couple of questions that are there. One is by Joy Datta, who says, how effective is Perk defense against white e4 if I'm planning to play the King's Indian defense? Actually, it's similar to what Biswa is going through. So I can just tell you. For example, some people play d4. Then you want to play King's Indian. However, after knight c3, here, if you go g6, e4, d6, this becomes the Perk defense. Because there is no pawn on c4. When the pawn is on c2, it becomes Perk. If the pawn is on c4, it becomes King's Indian. So it's a very respected opening, I would say. It's slightly difficult to handle with black because you are not controlling the center. The same is the problem with King's Indian. Whenever you control the center with your pawns and have equal space, it becomes easier to play. But when you don't, it's not like it's a bad opening. You need more skill level to handle it. It's like if you're driving a car, playing this hyper modern opening is like driving on a slope. And playing a normal opening is driving on a normal car. But you know, the slope is a shorter route. So you can reach your sometimes you get more winning chances as well.
Got it.
So I would say, Joy, it's not a bad opening. You can try it out like e4, d6, d4, but it also depends on what is your playing style. If you love endgames, I can also recommend playing e5 here. The reason is many of your opponents will go into this line, which is supposed to be very good for black. Like it's a nice endgame to play. It's not bad. I mean, not very good, but it's a playable endgame. Okay. And one more super chat was by Arjun Suri, who said, Sagar, you should go on Biswa stream can talk about how AI is trying to solve chess and how AlphaZero's research changed the way people study chess. I think Arjun, instead of that, I will go on Biswa's stream and learn maths from him. At some point, we will do it. I have suggested him what I don't know. In fact, I don't know many things. But Ashutosh Oja says, Sagar, why don't answer if you are not comfortable? Just wanted to know your views on the recent PogChamps controversy happening on Twitter. Do you know what's happening, Biswa?
What is happening now?
I do not know yet, but Ashutosh, I will check out, and if I really I am not aware of this controversy of PogChamps. I just know that Mr. Beast is playing in PogChamps, so it's a very interesting event. But I don't know who's leading and who's the strongest player there. Okay, let's go with the first game very quickly. Biswa, I have taken out some positions. Phone charge and here. So, Biswa, you are playing with black in this game. And opponent played e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, ed4, knight d4, queen h4. Where did you learn this system?
Some online something. Gotham chess.
Is this good?
No, but it's nice. It's tricky. It's got many
But
tricks.
I think this one is not just tricky. It seems like it's a playable system. I tried to check it out. Like, I think, see, if I do this in the live database, you will see that there are more than thousands of games here. So it's not a very bad system, I think.
This I know it till this move. I don't know anything beyond this move.
But you played well. You went knight c3, bishop b4, queen d3. I think, guys, anyone playing Scotch, this could be an interesting idea. Queen d3, knight e5, queen e2, knight f6, bd2. Sorry, knight e5, bd. And so you won a pawn. So my reason was not to show this game for your opening because your opening prep was good here. The reason was a moment in the game which showed a little bit of problem in your understanding. So this is black to play. What would you play here? Ashutosh Oja, okay, I'll check this out. Thanks for letting me know. So what you played in the
Knight
game?
s5, knight s5. Knight s5 is better than knight d5.
No, you didn't play knight d5 is a good move. Knight d5, if you would have played, I would be very happy. In fact, if you would have played even rook d6 with the idea of doubling the rooks, that is also a good idea.
What did I do?
So find the bad move that you played here.
e4.
Yes. Why
I played e4?
Why did you play e4 is beyond my understanding, because after this, you not only open up the position for his bishop, it can sit here and attack this. So here, this is a pawn which is limiting his bishop. So knight d5 with the idea of knight e3, knight f4, or rook d6 with the idea of doubling is very logical. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to another game. And something which was e4, e6, you are white. And you are now playing exchange variation.
Yeah, for French.
Why not advanced variation which you are playing?
It's too much prep.
Or maybe
I forget one move.
knight d2.
It's pointless. Like it becomes too many things to remember. But in exchange, it's much easier to play.
I know, but it leads to like a little bit of bland positions, no? Or you like it?
For sure. I mean, it's definitely very equal position.
But why don't you like knight d2? I like it's very simple.
Okay.
Let's say
Not like
if he goes knight f6, you play e5. He goes here, you play bishop d3. Your idea is to put this knight on e2, the other knight on f3, and
Okay.
kind of overprotect this point. So if you go c5, you go c3. Knight c6, knight e2. cd, cd. Oops, sorry. cd, cd. f6, ef. Knight f6, knight f3. So you will play this way, and eventually you will put your bishop on f4, rook c1, and it's a very simple way to play this position.
Got it.
Okay, if he plays knight d2 c5, then you can take here.
Okay.
If he takes with the queen, knight f3, cd5, cd4, bishop c4, queen d6, castle. Next move, you will go knight b3 and pick up this pawn. He cannot ever try to save this pawn with e5 because rook e1 and he will be in big trouble because of lack of development. So my suggestion is to try for knight d2 move, Biswa.
Got it.
Long term ke liye.
Okay.
Okay, you took. I have nothing against exchange French. It's playable, of course. Castles, c3, bishop g4. And now you played knight d2, maybe bishop g5, more aggressive, then knight d2.
Yeah.
So knight d2, c6, and here you, in your, I don't know, this is something which you do without sometimes thinking. Knight e5, bishop e2, queen e2, and then rook e8, and you fell in big problems here. You lost a pawn. So it was important to just play h3 or rook e1. All are good moves. Okay.
सागर भाई आपका घर तोड़ा जा रहा है ऐसा लग रहा है.
हाँ, today is it's a ये दिन है जहाँ पे पूरा restructuring चल रहा है because we have two internet connections. All wires are running through. So today finally we are going to make it into a normal house. Like if you come to my house, you'll be like, oh ये wire को ऐसा jump करके वो इधर के.
आता हूँ, आ जाता हूँ आपके घर.
Okay, here's the next one. Very important because these are some systems which if we don't discuss, we will keep playing. You are black. d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight f3, bg7, g3 castles, bg2. What did you play here?
If d5, I think.
Why did you play d5?
I don't know.
Why not d6?
Then what?
The same idea which you do every time.
f4, e5, f4.
Sorry?
c5 I'll have to play.
Yeah,
here.
no, same. Knight d7, e5.
Okay.
Same thing, same stuff. Because the moment you go d5, Biswa, the point is it transposes into Grunfeld now. And in Grunfeld, the point is if the knight is on c3, this is a good idea. Because when he plays e4, you can exchange, take, and then strike the center. You know, typical Grunfeld. But if he doesn't have a knight, after e4, you will have to move it away. And then white has the very nice center after knight c3.
Got it.
So therefore, I recommend here to go d6. And if you want, you can check some games of Ganguly here, Adhiban here. These are better games. Okay, let's look at the next game as to what you can improve here. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Here you are white and you played d3, good moves. Why a3?
Bad move. Should have played, I think, bishop g5.
Yes,
Bishop g5.
Bishop g5 is a good move. Or I would even say c3. The idea is, look, Biswa, here you have played this several times. You like to play knight c3 here, which I am not such a big fan of.
Okay.
The main concept is that after c3, rook e1, knight d2, or maybe first start with knight d2, rook e1, knight f1, knight g3, you are able to build up a slow attack. And at the same time, you keep the option of pushing d4 open. It's more flexible. right? So this I do not like, a3 move. Next time you can go c3, knight d2, rook e1, knight f1. Maybe put the bishop back on b3. Then it can also go to c2. Eventually, keep an eye out on d4 break. At the same time, keep building your position. Here you are black. And very good move, d5. Here, played h3. And now you played knight h5. This is your typical idea whenever the bishop is on f4. But here not required. Because he's already made space for his bishop to go back here. So what is the point of putting your knight there?
Yeah.
What would you do instead?
Just knight d7.
Possible. Very decent move.
c6.
No, go c5. Play a little actively. If he even takes, you always have queen a5. This is a very typical idea when the bishop is here and then you attack like this, threatening knight e4 or winning back the pawn.
Got it.
Okay, let's go to one more game. You are playing here with black. d6. All good here, rook e8. Now you suddenly play h6. What is the point of h6? Why did you do h6?
I was trying to trap that bishop, I think.
Again, you want to do this stuff, knight h5. But see,
Yeah.
if he just goes h3, your move is wasted because knight h5 just bishop h2. This is not always ideal if you cannot win this.
Got it.
So what else can you do here as black?
I think b6.
Okay, not bad. b6, bb7. Or why did you put your rook on e8?
Yeah, because I forgot what was the problem. Yeah, there's this London system trap of e5, but it wasn't working here. So if I do e5, he takes, I take, he has to move. Now e4.
No, it's no e4. He has 3 controls.
That's the problem. That's why I abandoned this.
But this is great position. You have got a great move here. Next move you can go queen e7. Now you can think of knight h5 trying to win this. Just queen e7
Okay.
with the idea of e4. Now you have 3 controls. He has to do something.
Got
Next
it.
you can go b6, bb7 also possible. You got space, no, with e5.
Got it.
Okay, last one for the day. Then we will see remaining tomorrow. You are white. What move should you play here?
d3 or c3.
Hey, c3, knight takes e4.
Yeah, that's why knight c3. But here d3.
See, knight c3 we don't want to do. We want to do d3,
d3.
c3, knight d2, rook e1, knight f1. Correct?
Yeah.
So please think about it this way. Play this. You are going to get more Italians. Try to play it this way.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it. We should also cover a little bit of real peas next time.
I wanted to teach you also. Rui Lopez from white or black?
Black.
Black. You are playing well, but with black. I saw one game your opponent took on c6, that exchange variation dc6. You won very well. That was a good game. Also,
Yeah, but sometimes I get into trouble.
Ivan's Gambit, you lost 2 games already with black.
Yeah, now I'm better at Evans Gambit.
You have learned how to play?
Yeah. Basic I know now. Yeah.
But that bd6 move, is it main line?
No, it's very weird. It's very frustrating for whoever is playing.
Okay, I will look at it a slightly deeper. I wanted to suggest bishop a5 there instead of bd6. But if
I used to play bishop a5, but it favors them because they are already prepared with too many lines. So I just play
But I will
BD6
just
and
check BD6 once if it is okay. If it is okay, then you can continue playing. If white has a clear way to gain advantage, I will suggest something else.
yeah, this BD6 is it's very frustrating for Evans Gambit players because they don't prepare for it. They don't see it very often, and then there is actually no tricks in the position after that.
Cool.
I had checked it in Agadmatter had put a Evans Gambit masterclass for 30 minutes.
Then it's
So in that
fine.
I had seen.
My only worry is that when you see these videos, there are some lines which are given as fun lines which you can play in blitz games. But if you are, going to play a serious game, and if there is a refutation somewhere, then you may not even
Yeah,
get a game. Opponent will just play the best moves and you may lose. So this
got it.
this approach is dependent on what you want to play. If you want to play a fun online game, then this is fine, knowing all the traps. But if you want to go for serious event, then you have to accordingly prepare.
So we can prepare the bishop a5
No, I'll
line. That'll
check
be great.
BD6 if it's good. Then no, I mean no problem. So I am not aware whether it's I used to play bishop a5. So I'll check it.
Okay, awesome.
ठीक है sir. So
Cool, cool, cool.
all the best, and we will do some more of this. And guys in the chat, if you enjoyed today's problem solving of these positions, I've put the link of
Nobody enjoyed. Nobody enjoyed.
no,
Nobody
if you
enjoyed.
want such tough positions, then check out Practical Chess Defense by Agard. I've put the link in the description. You can check it out. It's a very good book. Like, it changed my calculation at least. And I think for Biswa, it's slightly above your strength right now. But I think if you do more, you will very quickly. Like today, you already tried very hard. I could see. Of course,
Yeah, these positions where like the positions where exchanges are happening and checks are happening are much easier to calculate. These positions where like you have to keep eliminating moves and come into like, so the calculation is intense because you have to, there are 8 possibilities and then you have to eliminate 6.
correct.
So those are the more but those are more practical in the sense that those are the positions that come up in your games.
Exactly. And if you can do that, 8 minutes. If you do that, it will be very cool. I just want to give another last thing here for everyone and also for you, in case you find time, is this one. We uploaded it today. It is known as a new series which we have started. It's called CYST. Syst. Can you solve this? And it has mate in 2 puzzles. And if you guys would like to try it like in this position, it's you have to find mate in 2. Any move with white you play, next move it has to be mate, whatever black does. So there are 4 such positions. If you try it out, it can help you also to improve your calculation.
Awesome.
Okay, so Biswa, take care. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you tomorrow. Is Grandmaster Chess with Kramnik at 3:30. So we won't have our class.
But definitely, I would like to come for that one and enjoy a lot playing some night moves.
Will you do this? Will you do this?
Yes, I would think about this, but I don't think I would do this because you see, I don't do such a great job. I could just do it sometimes, but not all the time. I cannot do
I will
it.
ask chat what they think. I think they.
No, 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 no. Don't ask chat. Chat. Say anything. These kids just want to do chaos. I don't want any chaos. Okay. I will not do it. So
No.
don't.
Tomorrow,
No.
if Kramnik says he's fine, then what is the problem?
Is not good. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Guys, all of you, thank you so much for being here. Even having 800 to 1000 people solving such tough positions is very heartening for me. So thank you all. Please like the stream. Please do subscribe to Chessbase India for more such high quality training. Take care, guys. Bye.